the indisputable masters of 20th century painting is Henri Matisse. Henri Matisse was born on 31 December 1896 and died on 3 November 1954. He was a French painter renowned for his use of color and his skilled and inventive draftsmanship. He was a painter, sculptor, and draftsman, but he most known for his paintings. Along with Picasso and Marcel Duchamp, Matisse is frequently recognized as one of the three artists that contributed significantly to the revolutionary changes in paintings and sculpture that occurred in the earlier 20th century. Despite being the first referred to as a fourth wild beast by the 1920s, he had become to be recognized as a champion of the classical heritage in the French North region of the Cambrésis. Henri Matisse was born. He was born and raised in Bohan and Vermandois, Picardy, France, where his parents maintained a flower shop. He moved to Paris in 1887 to pursue a legal education, and once he graduated, he took a job as a court administrator in Le Cambrésis after his mother gave him art tools during a period of recuperation following an episode of appendicitis. He began to paint in 1889. He found what he subsequently called a type of nirvana, and much to his father's dismay, he decided to pursue an art. He went back to Paris in 1891 to continue his art studies at the Académie Julian under William Adolphe. Of previous mentors like Jean-Baptiste, Nicolas Poussin, and Anthony Watteau, as well as more contemporary painters like Edward Manet and Japanese art, had an impact on Matisse. One of Matisse's favorite painters, CAAD, had 4 of his works in the Louvre that he copied while still a student of art. He had a daughter named Margaret with a fashion model Caroline Jobler in 1894. He married Emily Noël in 1898, and the two together raised Margaret and had 2 sons, Jean and Pierre. Matisse frequently used Margaret and Emily as his model. Without much success, he held his first solo show in 1904 at Ambroise Vollard's gallery. As a result of spending the summer of 1904 painting in Saint-Tropez alongside the New York Impressionists Signon and Henry Edmond Cross, his preference for vivid and expressive color became increasingly apparent. Lux came the most significant of his New Impressionist paintings he painted in that year. He made another trip to the South 1905 to work in Collage with André Jouet. His paintings from this time period use pointillism less strictly than before and are distinguished by flat shapes and control lines. He and a group of artists, now known as Faust, exhibited together in a Salon d'Automne room in 1905. The paintings expressed emotion in wild, often dissonant colors without regard to the subject's natural color. Matisse showed open window and a woman with a hat at the salon. Critic Louis Vexler described the work as Tonelito au milieu de faves, Tonelito among the wild beasts, referring to a Renaissance-type sculpture that shared the room with them. His statement was published in Kilbas, a daily newspaper, on 1905 October 17, and was translated into a popular usage. A pot of paint had been flung in the face of the public. The exhibition received hard criticism, but also saw positive attention according to the critic Camille Moncler. When Catra and Leo's team bought Matisse Woman with a Hat, a special condemnation painting that had been singled out for a special mention, the embattled artist's morals scored dramatically. Matisse died of a heart attack at the age of 84 in 1954. He is interred in the cemetery of the monastery Notre Dame des Cimices near Nice. Just like William Shakespeare in the literature and Sigmund Freud on psychology, Henri Matisse's impact on Fauvism movement is tremendous, thanks to the influence he had on painting following the Second World War. Henri Matisse's reputation is higher than it has ever been before. Following the principle discussed by Hans Hofmann, the color was responsible for structural configurations behind the picture was showcased in American abstract art. Work of Jackson Pollock, Mark Rothko, and the other color-field painters showcase this style in their pieces. Following this concept, Matisse is an influential figure of the 20th century, and by defining a clearly pictorial language of color and abstract lines rather than looking at a painting as a means to an end. Matisse had a great impact on future movements and work produced by artists in the 20th century.